Unleash your engine's potential with confidence. Introducing the new exclusive line of oil blends from Moose Off-Road. Moose Off-Road, on the gas since 1986.
All right, 2025 KX450X. I'm with editor Mark Tilley. This bike comes stock with an 18-inch rear wheel, a kickstand, ODI lock-on grips, some softer suspension, valve front and rear for off-road. But at its core DNA, it is very close to the KX450 motocross bike. We know you race off-road. We know you've raced this motorcycle. Give me 5 things that you would do to go racing this weekend on the KX450X, whether that's some small upgrades or just some things you'd like changed. Give me 5.
First,
and why.
First and foremost, you gotta put heavy duty tubes or a mousse in it. Nitro mousses work really great, but you gotta put heavy duty tubes or some kind of mousse system in it, because what comes stock is definitely not up to par when you come to racing. Tires are great. Like those work great. I take the kickstand off, not because the kickstand really gets in the way. I think it might be a rule, but I take the kickstand off. It's added weight that you don't need. And on my side, I look at it and go, yeah, I don't want that kickstand coming down. So that's just a thing for me, but kickstand off. I will put an exhaust on this motorcycle, because a Pro Circuit exhaust, an FMF exhaust, anything really wakes this bike up. It makes it to where it kind of makes it a different motorcycle. You can leave the maps the same, not really. If I had a 6th one, I would change a map. I'd put a map in it, and it's really easy to do with the Rideology. I don't mind a less aggressive hit on a motorcycle. Handguards. You gotta have handguards on an off-road bike. I don't understand why they don't come with it, but you gotta have handguards on an off-road bike. Personally, you know, I've raced with the pegs and stuff like that. I like the IMS pegs. It's just a better platform, makes my feet stick. So that's one of the things I'm really particular about, making stuff stick and kind of go from there. So I mean, that's kind of, I guess if you're going to do off-road, I need a bigger tank, because if I'm gonna do a Grand Prix or something like that, I've tried it on a stock tank, it's not big enough. I've run out about 39 minutes right in there. So about the last lap of like an SRA Grand Prix or something like that. So I need a bigger tank. But other than that, not very many things. I mean, there is a couple more things that I would say keep an eye on, but not a necessity for me to go off-road racing. The chain guides pad that goes around the swing arm up front, you really want to keep an eye on the bottom of that, because if some of our older guys remember, you know, early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, Honda CR125 and 250, the wear pad on top looked great, but what you didn't notice is underneath, that wear pad was gone, and it would start grinding into the swing arm. And there's a lot of used swing arms out there that are ground in. I've had the same thing happen on this, so keep an eye on that. The stock ones are better than they have been in the past. Still not as good as what a TM Designs is, or an Achirby's or something along those lines. And then the back chain guide will, if you hit anything with it, it's aluminum. So if you hit anything with it, it's gonna move, and it's gonna move over, and then it's gonna, the chain's gonna grind on it. That pad's gonna go away quick. So those 2 things, not a necessity, but something that you definitely want to keep an eye on. And if you're going to race off-road multiple times, just kind of out messing around, not really something that you want to, or that you have to change. They will get kind of, even on the motocross bikes, I've had it to where you go into a rut and that thing kind of moves around a little bit. Because they're aluminum, once they bend, they stay where they're at. Whereas a TM Designs, or even, like I said, the Achirby's, the aftermarket chain guide systems last longer. They're a little bit louder, but they last longer. They have a memory, it seems like, to where they can get kind of moved out of the way and then move back. They kind of come back to their thing. So that's kind of the stuff that I would change right away. But again, you can take this bike out the way that it is. For the average off-road guy to go out to your local off-road race, yeah, you know what? Unless you're bouncing off stuff or you really are particular about certain things, it's a pretty comfortable motorcycle to ride.